More bad news for Flint schools and their employees. We've got lots more from our top web headlines here on this Wednesday. This is the Daily Webcast. I'm Jared Smith. We begin in Flint, where 4 schools were just shut down. Now, less than a week later, another bombshell. More than 200 teachers and other staff members are being laid off. School board members tell NBC 25 that many of the teachers are from the 4 schools that will be closing after this school year. They also say as many as 100 teachers could be called back later in the year. When student count for next year is known, the school board voted 7-1 in favor of the layoffs last night.
I think it would be a little more just to keep the teacher in a way of, I might not need you. If you had your child going in and starting school year with a substitute teacher, would you feel very confident in what was going on?
Gavulik was also laid off and called back last year, and he hopes to be called back again this time. Meanwhile, a little bit north of us here in the Flint area, authorities in Aranac County are still searching for a prisoner who escaped police custody earlier this week. Police say Everett Robinson disarmed a deputy and escaped on Monday while being transported from Standish for a home invasion hearing. Robinson reportedly grabbed the gun and got control of the squad car. Deputies later found the car abandoned on M55 near I-75. Robinson is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs 220 pounds. If you have more information, please contact the Aranac Sheriff's Office immediately, and you can see that number right at the bottom of our screen. In Bay City, a man is calling his neighbors heroes after they rescued his family from a burning home. Jose Morales tells NBC 25 the fire started around 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. He wasn't home, but his children and girlfriend were asleep inside. Several of his neighbors saw the smoke and started banging on the windows. They also brought ladders to help his family trapped on the second floor get out safely. Everyone got out okay. One of the neighbors who took part in the rescue says it was a natural reaction to help out his friends. In other news, Genesee County officials say nearly 1,700 homes and businesses were damaged by the massive storm that hit the area earlier this month. At least 800 of the homes were in Flint Township. Last week, state, local, and federal officials surveyed the damage. This came after Governor Rick Snyder declared a state of emergency for the county. It's not clear at this time how much money victims could receive from the federal government. The storm started May 3rd and dumped more than 5 inches of rain in and around Flint. Back in Flint, Tuesday was Judgment Day in the murder trial of accused serial stabber Elias Abulazam, and the jury took just over an hour to deliver a guilty verdict. The 12-member jury found Abulazam guilty of killing 49-year-old Arnold Miner as part of a stabbing spree during the summer of 2010. Over the last 2.5 weeks, the prosecution called more than 50 witnesses to the stand. The defense called just one, a psychiatrist who diagnosed Abulazam as a paranoid schizophrenic. Sentencing for Abulazam will take place on June 25th. And finally, for all its technological advancements, the cell phone is becoming known for something, well, a little bit less desirable these days, and that's rudeness. A U of M Flint clinical psychologist says we're becoming less civil, and it seems instant communication has its drawbacks. Why are we becoming so rude, and how can we reverse the trend? Dr. Daryl Douglas says people need to cut back in their activities, use more one-on-one communication, and get to know your neighbors. Our own Joel Fike examined the end of civility in a special report that aired last night on NBC 25 News at 6 and this morning on NBC 25 Today. It was also our morning talker as we asked viewers what really grinds your gears when it comes to people being rude. And for more on the top stories of the day, you can log on to our homepage. You can see it right here in the monitor, mynbcnews.com. And don't forget, chime in on what you read by logging on to our Facebook page, NBC 25 News, or you can find us on Twitter at NBC_25. Well, that's it for today's news headlines here on this Wednesday. Time now to check in with Janet in the Weather Center for a look at today's forecast. Janet?
Thanks, Jared. Another beautiful day for us. This time just a little bit warmer, so take a look. Highs around 77 today. South wind only between around 3 and 8 miles per hour. Fall down to the mid-50s tonight and even warmer tomorrow with highs in the mid to upper 80s.